Good evening. After the most significant military confrontation between the U.S. and Iran in 2 decades, all eyes now turn to Tehran's response. In an emergency session held by Iran's Supreme National Security Council, top commanders and government officials concluded that Iran would pursue a multi-layered retaliatory framework, seeking to avoid full-scale war but respond with strength. Initial actions include the expulsion of the Swiss ambassador, who acts as the U.S. liaison in Iran. The Iranian parliament unanimously passed a resolution declaring the U.S. military a state terrorist organization. On the military front, units of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, have reportedly been repositioned to keep border zones and naval outposts in the Gulf. Iranian air defense systems remain at full alert. While no direct missile launch has yet occurred, Iranian Defense Minister Mohammad Reza Ashtiani warned of nonlinear retaliation, hinting at cyber, proxy, and economic disruptions. The decision to avoid immediate escalation reflects both internal caution and global pressure. One of the clearest signs of Iranian retaliation so far has emerged in cyberspace. U.S. infrastructure and financial institutions have faced distributed denial of service, DDoS, attempts traced to known Iranian cyber units, according to Homeland Security. While attacks have so far been superficial, overloading public-facing websites and utilities, they mark a renewed round of gray zone conflict, echoing incidents from 2012 and 2020. Iran's elite hacker group, APT-33, Elfin, is suspected of coordinating the digital probes, with help from domestic cyber units tied to the IRGC. The Pentagon and U.S. Cyber Command raised alert levels, fearing retaliatory ransomware, power grid manipulation, or communications disruption. Iran's cyber doctrine, developed over years of sanctions and isolation, views digital retaliation as an asymmetric tool to impose costs without provoking total war. A DHS official stated anonymously, "It's clear Iran is probing defenses, but nothing so far indicates they're looking for mass destruction. Yet, experts warn future escalations may expand into telecom, banking, or satellite networks if diplomacy stalls." Alongside political and cyber actions, Iran is also turning to its long-standing network of regional proxies. In Iraq and Syria, Iranian-backed militias including Kataib Hezbollah, Liwa al-Tafan, and Harakat Hezbollah al-Najaba have entered high alert. Satellite imagery and field reports indicate that rocket artillery and drone units have been repositioned near U.S. bases in Erbil and Al-Tanf. No attacks have occurred, but risk levels have surged. U.S. Central Command has reinforced assets in Jordan and Bahrain, anticipating potential retaliation through third-party militias. The USS Dwight D. Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group remains stationed near the Strait of Hormuz. This form of proxy escalation allows Iran to exact pressure while maintaining plausible deniability. Analysts point out that similar tactics were used after the 2020 killing of Qasem Soleimani. Meanwhile, Hezbollah in Lebanon has issued a carefully worded statement supporting defensive resistance, but remains quiet operationally. Israel has reinforced northern defenses as a precaution. The risk of slow-burn regional escalation now hinges on whether these groups cross kinetic thresholds or hold back pending Tehran's instructions. The diplomatic aftershocks of the U.S. bombing have rippled through the UN and key capitals. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has convened an emergency session of the Security Council, urging immediate de-escalation. Russia and China condemned the strike as a violation of sovereignty, while UK and France called it regrettable but understandable, citing Iran's refusal to return to nuclear negotiations. Switzerland's expulsion marked a dramatic break in back-channel diplomacy. Switzerland's Federal Department of Foreign Affairs has expressed concern but a firm commitment to mediation. European Union leaders have dispatched envoys to both Washington and Tehran, hoping to salvage the remnants of the 2015 JCPOA nuclear deal framework. But both sides remain entrenched. The U.S. demands verifiable cessation of enrichment. Iran demands sanctions relief first. Analysts fear that diplomacy may stall indefinitely unless a third-party mediator, such as Oman or Qatar, can reopen private channels. Until then, global diplomacy teeters on the brink of breakdown. Inside Iran, public reaction has been swift and emotionally charged. Crowds gathered in Tehran's Azadi Square and Isfahan, chanting both anti-U.S. slogans and calls for national unity. State media channels aired dramatic footage of destroyed nuclear facilities and accused American Zionist aggression. President Raisi gave a national address calling the bombing a cowardly crime. Yet under the surface, independent voices are growing. Anonymous accounts and small Persian-language telegram channels show frustration, not only at the U.S. but at Iran's leadership for leading us into war without answers. Younger Iranians, still reeling from economic hardship and political repression, are split. Some back resistance, others fear prolonged war. The Iranian diaspora, especially in Europe and North America, is urging restraint and calling for international oversight. Public opinion is fragmenting, caught between nationalist defense and fear of long-term devastation. Experts say public sentiment may influence leadership more than expected, especially as economic fallout grows and potential for civil unrest rises.